let's talk about Master of None, which is the full 10-episode season that Netflix just dumped on our plate last week. All of us have watched all of it. So, again, this is going to be full spoilers, all of it. Get prepared. Please go watch it. I think before we get into full spoiler section, I think we can all say we liked it.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mario, you liked it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, good.
I love
Awesome.
the hell out of the show.
All right, so please go watch it and then come back and then watch this. Spoilers starting now. Oh my god, I love the show so much. It's probably the best thing. Best comedy of the year. If Mr. Robot was the surprise drama of the year, Master of None is the surprise comedy of the year. It's got so many levels. It's so cinematic. Holy shit. Oh my god. Connor.
Yeah.
There's a reason I watched it all on one day. Like, that kind of just says it all of how I feel about
Yeah,
it. Really.
so did I. I watched it on Saturday.
So I put it on. I was like, I'll try it out, and then it was over. So yeah.
So okay, yeah, we should go around and say, so both of you watched it completely, all 10 episodes one sitting?
I watched 2 lots of 5 with like an hour and
Yeah, I did Connor method too. I watched about 2 chunks. So
Nice.
watch one chunk, take
Close
a break.
enough to one sitting. I mean, you stop for food and
pretty much.
air, basically.
I watched the first 2 episodes with my roommate Skinner, and then had to take a break because I had to travel and whatever. But as soon as I got the opportunity, I sat down, and I was just going to watch another 2 more. And then I was like, but I want to watch another one. Like, that ending was so good. I watch this one. And then the next one did the same thing, and oh my god, it just kept going, and holy shit, I'm up at like 4 a.m. I have to get up tomorrow. Oh, I don't care. This is so good. Watch all of it. It was so, oh man,
Yep.
I can't. All right, Peter, how did you watch this show? What was your, because you weren't sure that you were actually going to watch all of these episodes in time for this review.
Yeah, because I think when we got to, I think last night when you asked me, I still had like 4 episodes or 5 episodes to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't love it as instantly as all you seem to have. And I think the reason for that is because it's got a really weird tone for a comedy that I can't quite compare to much else. And it took me a while to really get into the swing of it. Because ultimately, it did make me laugh. Like, every so often there'll be something really funny. Like, I think the first thing that really made me laugh was like the different Indian guys being told that the guy in Short Circuit 2 was actually a white guy. You know, that made me laugh. And there was things throughout. In fact, one of the biggest laughs I gave of the entire season was probably in the final. When Aziz Ansari says, "What, I'm meant to go and get the number 2 tackle like an asshole?" That made me laugh.
Okay, but like, so you only had that many episodes left to go. So were you saying like, when you were done? I think you said you were halfway through episode 5.
Yes, that
So
was the
are you
one.
not-
That was the one with the like he's with the actors in the movie, like the guy from Resident Evil movie. I can't remember his name. Colin something. The British guy who likes
Colin Salmon.
Colin Salmon. There you go.
Yeah. He was great. I loved him.
Yeah, he was
He
great.
Just do the Lego. By the way, shout out to Harris Whittles, who wrote that joke, and he wrote a couple other jokes. He was a writer on Parks and Rec and stand-up and stuff. He died earlier this year.
All right.
He was a writer on this show as well. He was the one that did that joke. He also did. He wrote the turtle in the briefcase text joke, which got me
Yeah.
That's good.
real hard. And also the analyzing "Lose Yourself" by Eminem about shifting the
that was
perspectives and trying to figure out.
That was just a great moment. 'Cause that was like
What's
right at the
the
start of an
real-
episode.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, basically basically last night we had some troubles on YouTube, and I got very upset and angry. What I really wanted to do was play some Fallout, because Fallout came out this week, and you can go and listen to 1080-bit to hear more about that. But
the Video Games Podcast here on the Mild Buzz Network.
I got so pissed off that I didn't even want to do that. I just wanted to lie in bed, and I put on Master of None. And I watched like 3 episodes last night, and I watched the last 2 today. And it definitely gets better as it goes. Definitely gets better.
All right, so you watched it in 3 chunks. All right, Peter, you're the only negative one here, so I guess we have to start with. We have to keep with your opinion.
Well, not so much negative. I just didn't really get into it until later on.
What do you think prevented you from getting into it? Is it
It wasn't
the
that
style
funny
of the show?
to start with.
Oh, man.
I
I was
wasn't
losing my shit like every other sentence.
really laughing until like maybe 4 episodes in.
You didn't laugh when they were standing there in the first episode before you even get to the title card, and it's like, "Yep, that's the pill." Oh no! My treat.
No, my
treat.
favorite one is like there's Uber Black and there's Uber X. Which one should I get? Just get Uber X. I just didn't want you to think I was being stingy with the Ubers.
Yeah. Yeah, the technology stuff is so well integrated into this. It's just it doesn't feel gimmicky like it does in a lot
feels
of
like
other
how
shows.
people use it.
Yeah, that's which. All right, Peter, I have to ask. I have to ask everybody the aspect ratio because this is something that Peter's always.
Oh yeah,
talked
I forgot about
I
about.
said as soon as I watched it, I was like, well, I'm just waiting for Peter's spiel.
Well, okay, let's talk about this then.
So as usual, I forgot that was a thing, and I didn't even notice whatever you're going to say right now.
That's fine,
And
Mario.
for the record, I love the style choice of doing it this way because it makes it feel more authentic. Go ahead.
I think
Peter.
just quickly, Peter said he had an odd tone to most comedies. I think this is a lot of that, just because most comedies aren't like this, so that immediately just shifts your perception.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily just that though, because no
it's
shows
part-
are in this ratio. That's why it's so notable.
Yeah.
I actually think it's really weird that the first show that I've seen do this is a comedy, because you would expect this more from House of Cards, which, to be fair, House of Cards does have a different ratio than usual. That's like a really weird one.
It has the same one as Marco Polo as well.
Does Marco Polo have that?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2:1, which is really bizarre. But yeah, this has got the CinemaScope 2.40:1 ratio, which I've been wanting TV shows to do for ages. I think it adds like an extra layer of this is a dirty word when we talk about video games, but we're actually talking about something that isn't a video game, so it's cinematic. It feels higher budget for a start, I think, almost right off the bat. It's also added to that because a lot of this is shot clearly on location in real places. And there's a lot of nice long takes and stuff.
And they spend an entire episode in Nashville, and they are clearly in Nashville.
Yeah, and that adds a lot to the production value of it.
Yeah.
But right away, it gives it a unique look compared to any other comedy I've ever seen. And right away, I sort of smirked when it was starting. I was like, oh, it's in a 240. That's cool. I haven't seen that before. I really hope Netflix starts doing that with other stuff. I mean, I think Daredevil should have been in this. Jessica Jones too. It's not, but
It wasn't.
it wasn't, no.
It was like
It's-
just on that topic. Doctor Who, they released a trailer before the series started, with it in that aspect ratio, and it cut out, and it immediately just looks like this is so much more compelling.
Yeah, there's just something about it. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because you never really pay attention to those tops and bottoms of the screen anyway. You're just mostly focused on that part, and it just gets right in that.
Well, I don't know if it's that, but I will say the reason why we even use that ratio in movies at all, because there was a time, the reason why they had different ratios is because, believe it or not, there was a time when Hollywood thought that TV was a threat. So they went wide to try and, this is something you can't get at home. And that mentality is long gone. But nowadays it's basically just what the directors and the cinematographers like using. In almost all big budget movies nowadays, and even low budget movies, are all shot in that ratio. It's purely a bit down to choice. And TV's always not had that choice because it's, no, everyone has a TV this shape, you have to make it for this. And I like that Netflix and a few other places are like, no, if you want to do something different, because people watch movies at home all the time now, that they used to have in the black bars or whatever.
That said, everyone still fucking complains about them.
Oh yeah, but they're all complete and all bends.
Yeah.
All right.
But I bet
Anyway, we
on
should-
Twitter there was a lot of people complaining about it on this specifically.
Well, we should get back to the show itself and just kind of talk about our favorite moments, our favorite episodes. Mario, is there an episode in particular that you'd say was your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I never even thought about that. But to go like a different opinion from Peter's here, this is probably one of my favorite TV shows ever now. Like it's on the level for me. It's like another Scrubs, and I know Peter doesn't even like Scrubs, but
Yeah,
I don't
Scrubs.
either. I don't like
God damn, Connor, you're dead to me.
I love Scrubs for the record.
Well, I really liked it because it was obviously funny, but at times it was really serious, and it got through some really deep issues, and then you got to see them grow because all of it was like, these two guys that just have fun and they're idiots, and then one of them gets in a serious relationship, then they get married, and then they deal with like going through your career and blah blah blah. And after like 7 seasons of it, you really kind of get attached to the characters. And this felt so real that it made you feel the same way. Where at times I'm laughing my ass off, but then it obviously deals with some really important issues that are so normal that it's almost interesting to do it this way.
Well, that's what I thought was
like the mornings episode. That one seems to be
That's my
across the
favorite.
board what everybody's been saying
Yeah.
That's
as their
joint
favorite
for
one,
mine.
just because it's showing something very, very realistic that happens to everybody, and it puts it in a way where it's not bad or good. It just is. This isn't.
Exactly.
There isn't necessarily a lesson.
And it's a full story too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is the thing. This is the weird thing for me is, as it was going on, it was making me laugh occasionally, but I wasn't laughing my ass off constantly. What I thought it did well was actually the drama side of things. I was actually more invested in it as a drama than I was a sitcom, like completely and utterly. I was invested in their relationship developing, and I actually kind of why I actually have some issues with the final for. Like, because the episode before the final is the apartment
mornings one, yeah.
right? And that whole has this thing where you think, oh, is things going to go bad here? And then they sort of make up, and he tells that nice story. Then that's how the episode ends with we don't know about happily ever after, but we're happy right now, right? And it felt like a very natural, very realistic telling of like a year in a relationship's life at this stage and all that. And I thought it was really good. It was really heartfelt. I was really into it. And it kind of annoyed me how the final just like almost just shot it away. Like,
But that's how relationships end. I've had
the way that
numerous
ended was
relationships. where-
perfect.
yeah, it's just
I
it's-
really liked the ending, like specifically, the very ending moment where he goes on the plane.
yeah.
yeah, the
Because it
plane,
was like
you?
it was like he was gonna do the cliche thing of like, oh, let's go and fly out to her, and that's where it looked like it was going. And I think you wanted him to do that, but then he kind of just goes and finds himself instead.
no, I like that. I like the bit in the plane, but I didn't like how it dangled the threat in episode 9, and then gave me the sort of happier ending there, and then just took it away in the next one. That kind of, from an episode to episode perspective, that bothered me.
I think you're looking at it from a TV show. I think we were looking at more just like life.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it was
Because
just that's how life works.
Yeah, and that's how the show presents itself, is not as a TV show. Every episode starts with Master of None presents, then this name. So it's almost like everything is its own short film, is how I was kind of approaching it. Everything is removed but connected, and that's odd for a TV show. And I haven't really felt like that since like Louis would be the closest
That's
thing
what
I could
everybody's
compare
kind
it
of
to.
just been comparing it to. It's something like that,
Which is
But
interesting
just
because I don't
for
like
a younger generation. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Parks and Rec and this stuff. I like this one so much just because I've met people like this. Like Parks and Rec to me is, I just find most of the people just irritating and not funny. And this, almost every character, I'm like, I know someone like this. I've met people like this. This is all something that I've seen before and I can relate to. And Aziz just, they're just making it funny by having his parents have really
Oh
funny.
god, yeah, we got to
His
talk
dad.
about that. We got to talk about that. For the record, I love both Louis and Parks and Rec, so equal representation. So his parents actually play his parents on the show. Obviously both of them are just regular people, and his mom is definitely way more deadpan. But his dad, what's up, man?
Wait,
It's
it's
so
cheese.
good.
I don't like cheese. No, and that's something I've actually thought about this before. When people complain about having a poor performance in like movies, like, wouldn't it make sense that there would be poor performances in real life?
Exactly.
Sometimes I feel like that.
Not
that's just
everybody's
so weird.
eloquent.
And but then this did it really well because they're his parents and because they're supposed to be like first generation Indian, like or just originally from Indian, like they wouldn't speak well, they wouldn't be eloquent, they wouldn't have great lines. Like the humor is all based on the fact that they can't speak well and they're not completely used to things and trying to figure out technology. But it all seemed like very much like real people. Which
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm curious, Peter. You weren't like I was. I really liked the first episode, and then after the second episode, which was the parents one, that's when I was like, this show has got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm completely in.
yeah.
That didn't hook you?
I thought the opening to the second episode, where it went through all those like really long flashbacks of like the histories of both the parents
Chicken.
of the chicken and the other one, and all for basically just so that at the end he's like, nah, I'm just going to go and see the movie because I want to see the trailers.
I kind of like doing the quizzes before the movie trailers, so
Like-
I think I'm gonna head out early.
Like, this is where I'm coming from. I like the observations it makes, but I don't necessarily find it all that funny all the time. Like, I appreciate what it's saying, And I like I said, it got better as it went on. I really liked all the relationship stuff. I thought it was really. I think when it got to the Nashville one, from the end till the end, I was really into the overall story of what was going on.
It's why I'm so glad I took a break at 5, because if I'd watched 6 before taking a break, that would have been one sitting straight through. I can tell you that now, because 6 was like 6 is joint for my favorite episode with the mornings one. 6 is the Nashville one,
because I felt like everything felt very natural, and it felt like you guys said, it felt very real. Which is, I think, why the final bothered me a little bit, and how it just kind of ended it there, because... And I know that's realistic to do that, because sometimes that just happens that way. But, you know, I've been invested in this for, like, you know, this relationship now for, like, 4 episodes, 5 episodes, whatever it's been. And then you just took it away. Like, could you not have done this since season 2? I don't know.
But he lived through it for a year, 2 years almost. I've had that relationship. Almost exactly, I've had that relationship, and so I mean, maybe I'm biased, but like it really.
Yeah, Alex used to be Indian.
I just happen to be. I mean, I am from South Carolina, so.
The other thing I want to mention that I really like, the music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the intro music is fantastic. I really like to play with some of the hip hop beats, but they use the original sample, so. Some people might recognize the original song, but I think most people just recognize that, this is like that rap song, but this is the original song.
Speaking of the music, most of the music's not really to my taste, but I do want to point out they used the Halloween score in one episode. They do. It's actually the Halloween score. It's again, it's one of those things. It's one of the cold opens where it's flipping between him going
the
home,
women one, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the women going home.
Oh, that's right.
And it's like playing the Halloween score as she's walking home.
I really like how it does that, though, because it's like you could have spread all those issues out over a whole series, but it's like, no, this is the women's equality episode, and this is the, you know, like the immigration episode. Like, it's really good because of that, where it just closes in on an issue, and then this is it. This is what we have to say. What's good is
you don't have like a typical TV show where they have like subplot and people doing with different things, and let's follow what this other person is doing. Oh, he's getting into quirky adventures, and over here this is happening. It's just every single story here, in some way or another, is going to have this one point of trying to emphasize whatever the message is for this episode. Yeah. And that really makes it work a lot. I feel a lot better. And the fact that mostly everybody is connected in some way. They're all friends of each other. They're all in the same circle, so it all makes natural sense of them to show up. And
yeah, I feel like almost every regular character was maybe only in half the episodes, because there'll be some episodes that didn't have the Asian guy, but it had the black lesbian, and then there'll be an episode that had the tall guy, but not, you know, like... It just depended on what the story was, which ones showed up. Because I'd say probably all of them only appeared maybe in 5 episodes each, but they were all like spread out and mix and match depending on what the story
And it was only when it made sense for them to be there, really. And I guess we should say, I mean, I loved all of the cast. I thought that they all did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Before I started the show, I heard Eric from Tim and Eric was in. I was like, okay, I mean, like, is that gonna be weird? No. Perfect. He plays the token white friend, which is great. nice play on things. And you also get H. John Benjamin in there.
That threw me off because I'd gone to pour a drink and I just wasn't looking for like a minute, and then I just heard his voice. I was like, that was weird. It was like
Coach McGurk.
It's just such a recognizable voice. I was like, oh, he's in it.
Can of vegetables? Is that you? Yeah.
Makes it really weird when he gives like really these full speeches that are meant to be really profound, because it's not usually his thing.
The other thing I really want to mention, just because we've talked about the realism of the show, kind of, I appreciate that, you know, not only just with the Halloween score, but with, I mean, they show Twins, Short Circuit 2, and a couple of other things where it's like, yeah, they're not the regular things you like fight to get the rights to show or whatever, but it's what you would show as an example. Hey, look at this. Here it is. It's not a big to do. I don't know. It just, the biggest compliment for the show is how authentic it feels. I feel everything about it. None of it rang false for me, even if it was something that I didn't have my own specific experience with. Obviously, the Indians on TV episode. I don't have my own experiences with, you know, going into casting directors and trying to get into being one of many ethnic characters on a show, but I could still see that side, and they presented it in such a grounded way that it's hard not to see the irony of certain situations and just kind of laugh along, or you laugh internally, which is more of what I did, I guess, which is the same I would say of Louis. Laugh more internally. It's something that just sticks in my head that I think about often and laugh to myself about versus laughing immediately in the room. But I would agree that the drama aspects are a little bit more defined and kind of hit you immediately, a little bit more than the laughs do. Connor, was there a particular emotional beat? Because even though we've been in spoiler territory forever, we haven't really spoiled anything. So was there a...
No, I said, the turning point for me was when they went to Nashville, and like you got the attachment there, and like them building up their relationship, and the small little things that happen, like, you know, just like the inside jokes that form, and then kind of just seeing them followed up on later as well, like especially when it got to like mornings, and then you can kind of just see how far they've really evolved from that, and that's probably what got me the most in terms of that.
How about you, Mario?
I mean, I think that the Friends stuff really got to me more too. Just seeing him have like a close group of friends that he always goes back to, and like that's kind of like his counsel. Like I like that a lot. That it's like he would sit down around a round table and have like discussion of, and sometimes it was played to be funny. Where I forget the guy's name, but the taller one would have like, oh, well, I was going out with this girl and then she dumped me. Oh, look, she texted back, and they were just focused on his problems. But I always liked that he went back to them to kind of like figure out whether or not she should do it. Like the black lesbian one was really like his conscience, like, oh, this is a woman that wants to have sex with me. I don't know if I should do it. And he kind of like talks it out, but the way he talked it out felt really like you could feel like they were really good friends. So that stuff I was really sold on all across the board.
Yeah. At first, I thought you were talking about that Friends money, that David Schwimmer money. You're gonna give me that David Schwimmer. Peter, near the end with all the relationship stuff, was that really the appealing part of the show for you?
Yeah, pretty much. The like I say, episode 9 in the apartment. Just that emotional roller coaster of that, and them having like a rough spot and then kind of getting over it, and that felt very natural to me and very heartfelt. And I liked how that ended, and it left me feeling hopeful. And then the final completely crushed all my dreams. Yeah. So
I think that's the real reason you don't like it. You're just upset that things didn't work out.
I mean, definitely when you look at us, I mean, we're not doing. We're talking about a show on a podcast. It's not the most traditional of things, and this show kind of explores being unsure about what you want to do, how you want to do it, who you want to be, what path to take. I mean, they do that's a whole big thing about the end of the season. Is just where you could go and what you could do, and that really, really hit me. I mean, made me contemplate.
For me, it's all just like the expectations of society. That's kind of like the whole show as a whole. It's like, it's obviously you have like the women and the racism, because that's what society perceives, and this is another extension of that, where it's if you're in a career at 35, you're kind of just expected that that's your career now until you retire. Yeah. And it's kind of that same thing throughout.
Well, I like that they pointed out within the episodes of how he starts realizing, before he even realized it, he likes pasta and food and making food a lot. And they kind of play with that as the episodes go by. Like, you just see him gradually like pasta more and more and more and more, to the point where he even realizes and recognizes it when he cooks that. I think in mornings at the end, he makes the entire dish and realizes, you're really good at this. Why don't you do more of this? And then that culminates to the end of, well, fuck it, I'm going to Italy and do that, because clearly I've been on this journey that I didn't even know he was on.
They seeded so many different things, not just with the pasta, but with the relationship that he ended up having. Right. He tells that story at the end of episode 9, but that whole story was the season to that point in a lot of ways. There's just so many good things I can say about the show. Honestly, more than anything, I'm just sorry that you didn't get more into it, Peter, because like this was the comedy version of Mr. Robot for me. It truly was. It completely.
I have to agree.
Just completely took over my brain.
I didn't feel that way about it. I liked it. Like, I'll watch it.
I haven't just out of like this year's Netflix comedies that I know you watched. Did you prefer this or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Oh, that's obviously because I mean, like, come on. First of all, I don't want Mario to stab me. Right, that's first and foremost.
That
I
show,
was just baiting it.
For the record, I liked Unbreakable
liked that
Kimmy
show.
Schmidt.
I mean, I
This is
liked it
still
as
better.
well. I still watched all of it. Like, it was easy to watch, but
Yeah.
let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah.
Let's not kid
All
ourselves.
right, well, we need to be wrapping this up. We should probably end on a high note. I just want to ask you guys, how much do you want a Paro? You want Paro?
It was awesome. I love that he gave it away too. You can't have a
Goodbye,
dog.
old
You can't
friend.
have a pet in here. Like, do you want to hold it? You can hold it till I come back. Okay.
Oh, hey there, little guy. How's
Yeah.
it going? Oh, it's so
So
good.
great.
Very good. All right, well, that will do it for our review of Season 1 of Master of None.